Liftoff will start in T-minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
It's time! 17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan open. Chicago with the lead. I've got a piece of it. It comes off. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship.
Tying run at second, 2 out. Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
To the far side around the 8-yard line to Hester. Under it and to the middle with the 15 to the 20, break 3 to the 25 to the 30 to the outside. 40, midfield, 40, 30 to the coast, 20, 15, Hester 5. Oh! Touchdown!
Toward Bryant. He will glove it toward Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to Shawn and Maya in the morning on this Hump Day edition. I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, well, then I guess you found us on Facebook. And if you're not following us on Facebook, what? Come on, go to Facebook, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the like button, and now you're following Sports Zone Chicago. Simple. But wait, there's more. Go to the show's page, go to Shawn and Maya in the morning, like that page as well. So not only will you be following Sports Zone Chicago, but you'll be following Shawn and Maya in the morning as well. If you're watching us on our YouTube channel, excellent. And if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, for real. All right, listen, go to YouTube, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the subscribe button, but also click the notification button. That's the bell next to it, and that'll let you know anytime a show from Sports Zone Chicago is going live. Get it? Got it? Good. Now, if you're watching this on our mobile app, yay, please don't tell me you didn't know we had a mobile app. Come on, baby, what's wrong with you? You got to keep up with the Joneses and them. All right, here. So go where you get your apps from. It doesn't matter where you get them from, whether it's iTunes or Google Play, Amazon, Walmart, Kmart, 7-Eleven, Zayre, Zemsky, Macy, Montgomery Ward, Woolworth, Weebolts, Gold Blast. It doesn't matter. You go there, you type in Sports Zone Chicago, you download it. You take us with you on the go, so not only do you in the morning this week. Not only do you get our other live shows throughout the week, and not only are they archived there like they are on Facebook and YouTube, but I'll tell you what, we give you a slew, and I mean a slew of articles, thanks to my man Clarence Council III. Big up to Clarence for keeping you abreast of all articles Chicago sports related. Now, if you're watching this on a Roku channel, I like that kind of party, baby. If you don't know, you better ask somebody. Sports Zone Chicago, we have our own Roku channel. So if you have a Roku television in the house, do us a favor. Download Sports Zone Chicago's channel to your television. Okay, put us there next to the big boys. Netflix, Hulu, Prime, HBO Max, Paramount Plus, Apple Plus, Stars, man. Woo-wee. Let me tell you that. Raising Canaan is getting good. Getting good. Disney Plus. Put us there. Put it next to the big boys. Watch us on the big screen. Hell, we're on the big screen, right, Mickey? Now. Now, you can also tweet the show. Tweet us at Sports Zone Shy. That's CHI at Sports Zone Shy. Now, if you want to follow me, just me personally online. Want to know what I did? Let me tell you what I did. I made it nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. One handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. All one handle at The Shawn Sierra. Listen, we got a great show, but I need you to get interactive. So whatever platform you're watching us on, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, or our mobile app, leave a question or comment on that platform. Guess what? It'll come up here in the thread. We'll put it up on the screen. Excuse me. We'll incorporate it to the show. And that, my peoples, is what makes this the best morning Chicago sports talk show around. And that's you. So bring them all, baby. Questions, comments, smart-ass remarks, because ain't nobody scared over here. And like The Rock said, baby, don't sing it. Just bring it. There we go. Let's see. Let's check out the chat because the chat was jumping already. Black Diamond, you start with this nonsense already, bro? What the hell? Started this over an hour ago. What the hell? Stop this music. Stop this nonsense. And you got Q unmuted. No, we're not doing that. Black Dimes, it's top of the morning squad. Cornelius, you too, you son of a biscuit. What up, what up, what up, Sports Donuts, Gold Cubs, Gold. No, too many of you people. God bless it. God bless it. Marlon Johnson, good morning, Baba. I said salute, Squalls and Black Diamond. What's up, Baba? How are you, Marlon? Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you. My man Armando Emeterio Lara Jr., he's in the house. What's up, Baba? How are you, bro? Hope all is well. Shawn Wall's in the house. He said, what up on a hump day? Hashtag see red. Man, they didn't see red yesterday. They got their asses kicked. They got their asses kicked, bro. That was not nice. That wasn't fun at all. At all was that not fun. Jeez. So what are you going to do? There you go. What are you going to do? Huh? Mr. Shorty's in the house. Top of the morning to y'all. Mr. Shode is in the house. Rick Gonzalez is in the house. What's up, Baba? How are you? Thank you for tuning in. Says good morning, Shawn, into the chat. Looking forward to Bulls Heat tonight. LFG. Let's freaking go. Let's go, baby. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Listen, I don't know a lot about a lot, but I do know this. More of the usual suspects will chime in as the show goes on. That, my peoples, I can promise you. Can't promise you anything else. I don't know a lot about a lot, but I do know that. More of the usual suspects will chime in as the show goes on. So we got a good one, man. My man Emilio Bucks is going to join us today at 9:30. We're going to talk some baseball. White Sox doing White Sox things again. A walk-off walk we lost by yesterday. Son of a biscuit. Woo! 1-0. White Sox lose yesterday. Bottom of the ninth. Nobody out. Mike Clevenger walks in. He walked two and then walks the game winner in. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So, not a fun day. Not a fun day at all. It's over in the land for the good guys. I just want to double check, see how many walks he had that inning. Yeah, 3. He walked 3. James Ford checking in. Good morning, Popeye says, good morning, Shawn. How you doing, buddy? Thanks for tuning in. Mr. Shorty says, bear down, Rick. Great to see the team back at House Hall. I agree. I couldn't agree with you more, Mr. Shorty. Could not agree with you more. The boys are back. Ooh-wee. I like it. I like it a lot. But let's see which way we're going to go. How do we do this? What are we going to do first? All right, well, here we go. Guys, you know what we do. The first segment of every show. It's called Top of the Morning.
It won't come just when you want it.
Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
Oh, you starting that shit, huh, Black Diamond? Okay. All right, when you guys don't make the playoffs after being in first place for so long, we'll have that conversation then. Ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun, does it? Is it? Oh, let's go. Let's check it out. First top of the morning topic. Yeah, we'll start with them. Start with the good guys. Man, what a rough day. White Sox fall to the Guardians 1-0. Their rookie Shane Smith had another impressive outing, his second consecutive outing. He got a no decision, 6 innings of scoreless baseball, 2 hits, 1 walk, 6 punch outs. Lewis Robert was 1 for 3, and Matan, who's hit a couple homers this year, was 1 for 3 as well. Could not get the game, squeeze 1 run across. And what have I been telling you guys? Let me take this down. How many times have I said this? All right, the White Sox are not a good team. They need to find ways to manufacture runs. They need to find ways. You can't keep losing 1-0. You're getting great pitching from a young staff. And you can't keep losing 1-0, 2-1, 3-2. You got to push runs across. You got to find a way to score. Fundamentals. All right, Will Venable, I'm starting to get a little pissy with you now. We can't get 1 run? 1 run? Come on now. I can't. I mean, we're on pace. We're on a worse pace than last year. We're on pace to lose 130. We better get this shit turned around and get it turned around quick. But anyway, next topic, the White Sox. We're staying with them. The White Sox play the Cleveland Guardians again today. First pitch is at 5:10 Central. You can catch that game on CHSN, Chicago Sports Net Plus, or listen to it on their flagship station, ESPN 1000. Probables for today's game. Shawn Burke's on a bump for the good guys. He's 1-1 with a 5.23 ERA going up against Logan Allen for the Guardians, who's 0-1 with a 6.75 ERA. Next topic of the morning topic is a rough one, man. This was sad. Very, very, very sad. Former White Sox pitcher Octavio Dotel was one of the victims in the roof collapse at a Dominican nightclub over the weekend. He was recovered, so he was under the rubble. He recovered. I mean, it was alive when they got him, but he passed away on the way to the hospital. So he pitched 15 seasons, 13 teams in 15 years. He was with the White Sox for stints as well. So our thoughts and prayers go out to him, his family. There was also another Major League Baseball player who passed away. He was 51. Octavio Dotel was 51 years old. Thoughts and prayers go out to him and the families of all the people who lost loved ones in that tragedy out in the Dominican Republic, where the roof on a nightclub collapsed. Man, that's a tough one, dude. Next half of the morning topic, the Cubs. Yeah, fine. The Cubs, they beat the Rangers 10-6. Jameson Taillon got no decision. He was 6 innings pitched, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 free pass, and 6 punch outs for Jameson Taillon. Let me tell you, it was another good performance. Quality start, 6 innings, 3 runs or less. Quality start for Jameson Taillon. The Cubs offense went to work. All right, Dansby Swanson was 2 for 4 with a homer, his 4th of the season, driving in 4 RBIs on the day. Heiya Suzuki was 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs, while PCA 3 for 5, driving in his 4th and 5th runs of the year. Staying with the Cubs, the next top of the morning, top of the Cubs host the Rangers today at Wrigley Field. First pitch is at 1:20 p.m. Central Time. You can catch that game on the Marquee Network or listen to it on their flagship station, 670 a.m. The probables for today's game for Texas, Tyler Mahle, he's 1-0 with a 1.35 ERA going for the Rangers. And for the Northsiders, Shota Imanaga, who's 2-0 with a 0.98 ERA. Next top of the morning topic, the Bulls. Only the Bulls. Only the Bulls. The Bulls got their asses handed to them yesterday, 135-113. 4/5 of their starting lineup was out. Only Matas Buzelis was in the starting lineup, and it was unfortunate. And even though the Cavaliers were without Donovan Mitchell, other guys took the time to step up, took the opportunity to step up and really do a number on the Bulls. Patrick Williams, he led the way with 21 points. Matas Buzelis, 19 points. Taylor, Horton, Tucker, Chicago's very own from Simeon, he dropped 17. And Jalen Smith, in his extended play, he dropped 13 points, 10 rebounds. Nice double-double for Jalen Smith. Staying with the Bulls, the next top of the morning, top of the Bulls host the Miami Heat tonight at the United Center. Tip-off is at 7 o'clock Central. You can catch that game on Chicago Sportsnet or listen to it on their flagship station, 670 AM. Ooh. Let's see, we got a lot of people jumping in. Okay, yeah, we got a lot of chatter in the chat. I like it. I like it a lot. We'll get to some of those things in a little bit. The Blackhawks, baby, the Blackhawks. That was a rough one. Yesterday, the Blackhawks fell. They got blanked by the Pittsburgh Penguins. Remember, they played them here, and then on Monday, and they came back, or Sunday, and then they came back and played them in Pittsburgh yesterday. The Blackhawks fall the Penguins 5-0. All right, he stopped 22 of 27 shots. Stay with the Blackhawks. The next top of the morning topic, the Blackhawks travel to Boston, to Beantown, Wicked Pissa, Park the Cod, Harvard Yard, to face the Bruins tomorrow night. Puck drop is at 6 p.m. Central. You can catch that game on Chicago Sportsnet or listen to it on their flagship station, 720 a.m. One of the things that I didn't get a chance to did I do that? What did I do? I thought I put it in there. Apparently not. Apparently not. All right, that's all right. Well, we didn't get a chance to talk about it because I don't come on Tuesdays. However, the next top of the morning topic, Florida Gators win the men's Final Four with a 65-63 victory over the Houston Cougars. What a game that was. That was insane. Crazy, crazy game. Houston had a chance for a last-second shot to a 2 to tie, a 3 to win. And Houston didn't get a shot off. Great defense by Florida, closing out on the shooter who actually got in the air and then dropped the ball because his shot would have been blocked due to the defense. And he came down. He had to box out one of the Florida defenders who was closing out because he couldn't touch the ball. It would have been double dribble. And Florida dives on the floor. They get it. Game, set, match. What a crazy, crazy game. Florida was down 12 at one point. And that was tough. They had to be tough. Listen, check it out. We got a little clip. Peep this.
Some nice action, though.
Uzan for Tugler. 1:40 on the clock. Houston leads by 1. They got bunched up in the area. Uzan now controls it with 9.
He likes to get right in the lane.
Uzan lines it up.
Nice pace.
It's Richard who does get a piece.
And blue shirt.
1-point game. Cryer.
Nice defense.
Shot clock down to 15. Sharp using the screen. Sharp with 10.
He
Sharp
lost it.
out of bounds. Turnover, Houston. Florida leads it by 2.
Uzan got to go.
Uzan, give it up. Cryer, 6 seconds, 5 seconds. Sharp,
He walked. He can't touch it.
he can't. 1 second, and it's over. Florida is back on top of the college basketball world.
Wow. Well, those courtesy of CBS. That was one heck of a way to end the game. Exciting. Back and forth. Like I said, Houston was up. Houston rattled them. They rattled them. And Florida, Florida you could see was shaking. But there were times when they finally slowed down, relaxed, and were able to beat the pressure of Houston. They stayed close. Houston couldn't put them away. Houston had a poor day from the field. And, it wasn't it was rough. Rough if you're a Houston fan. Rough if you are a Houston fan. Rick says, Shawn, you're going to be angry with this club, my White Sox, all year long. It is what it is. Yeah, I know. Black Diamond says, Shorty, Caleb has 0 excuses now. Yeah. Shorty says, I honestly don't think he'll need them, Black Diamond. Hope not. Oh, man, my man, King Booker World checking in. What's up, Papa? How are you? He says, salute everybody. And Shawn, thank you, sir. Sean Wallace, one shining moment. Man, I'm telling you, that was crazy. What a way to lose. Couldn't even get a shot off. And Houston, they're going for the win. You saw he was going for the 3. It was win or go home. That was it. And I like that. I like the determination. I like the fact they played to win. Oh, we ain't going to overtime. We don't need an extra couple minutes. No, we're going to win it. I love it. And unfortunately for them, it didn't work out. That's one heck of a way to lose. That was crazy. Crazy. I mean, it was definitely worth the price of admission. I'm glad, unlike the Bears, unlike the women's, when that was a blowout and that game wasn't even exciting, it was one hell of a game for the men. Now, last top of the morning topic before we go to break and welcome my man Emilio. The Bears have reported to Hallis Hall to begin phase 1 of their off-season program. I, along with the rest of Bear Nation, is excited. I'm happy like a giddy little schoolgirl. Good to see him back. All right, there's 3 phases. So for those of you who don't know about the offseason, there's 3 phases. Okay? Phase 1, this is from the Chicago Bears website. Phase 1 occurs during the first 2 weeks, which the Bears started this week. Activities are limited to strength and conditioning and physical rehab, with only the strength and conditioning coaches allowed on the field with the players. All right, so if you're doing sprints, you're doing plyos, you're doing agility drills, okay, helmets are prohibited, and footballs are permitted on the field only for quarterbacks throwing to receivers, provided they are not covered by defenders. That's the first 2 weeks. The second phase is in the last 3 weeks, all coaches are allowed in the field. Workouts may include individual player instruction and drills, but helmets and drills pitting the offense against the defense are prohibited. And then the third phase, which is conducted over 4 weeks, may include up to 10 days of OTAs. All coaches are permitted on the field, and players may wear helmets, but one-on-one drills involving offense and defense are not allowed. In addition, live contact is prohibited during all off-season workouts. So just kind of giving you a rundown of how that's going to work, what goes on in the off-season. Rick Gonzalez, phase 1, get the damn ball out on time, Caleb. Yeah, he's going to need to. And it's a new offense for him. No offense for the entire team. Shorty, lucky the kid has a lightning quick release. Hanging onto the ball too long was a result of him seeing ghosts from that terrible O-line. King Booker Will said, people, myself that I wasn't going to get too hyped about anything until proven otherwise. I've been a fan for over 40 years. Ben Johnson is different. Okay. Yeah, that guy Junior is right along with you. He always has that approach like, all right, we're going to chill and see how it plays out. Because last year should have been a good year as well, but for whatever reason, it wasn't. All right, stop with the hyperbole, Priority. Kid's release makes Dan Marino's release look like Jay Cutler's. First of all, Jay Cutler had a good release. Wasn't the quickest in the world, but it was a good release. And Dan Marino had a lightning quick release. Lightning quick. Rick Gonzalez and Plank, I could not agree with more. FGB. Rick Gonzalez, Plankster, echoes that sentiment. FGB. Why do they even have to have the draft up in Green Bay this year? That's stupid. Rick says, wow, Mr. Shorty, stop it. Marino was something different. He was. Cutler had his windup, but he was quick with it. He tried, and it wasn't a long windup like Justin. Justin had a longer windup. It was a longer windup and it was slow. Cutler didn't wind up. He drew it back like a bow and arrow. He was here, bam, he drew it back. He didn't wind up a lot like Justin. He didn't bring it down and up. All right, it was here. It was back. It was back. So unfortunately, you're mistaken on that one, but that's all right. It happens to the best of us. Happens to the best of us. But man, I'm excited. We're going to talk a little Bears football at the top of the hour. But we're going to take a quick break right now because we're going to switch gears. Talk a little baseball, talk a little basketball with my mans and them. So we're going to talk to Emilio Bucks on the other side. He's from the Plunked Podcast, also the Bull Spit Podcast. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. We got a lot more to talk. A lot of shit talking amongst us as well. So don't go anywhere. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Many will hear the calling. Few will earn the title. United States Marine. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
How do you take care of your mind health?
For my mental health, I meditate in the mornings.
I have my dogs. They're the best.
I just find ways that help me just relax.
Finding things that make me happy, like being close to my family.
I meditate a lot and read books.
I have hobbies outside of the game. I'm able to switch off. I'm able to turn my brain off from the game of basketball.
Your mind health matters.
Your mind health matters.
We're looking for a few heroes, mentors, trailblazers, innovators, a passion to change lives, spark curiosity, open hearts, and awaken minds, help students answer the question, who am I? This could be your calling, but this is no job. It's the journey of a lifetime. Be a hero. Be a teacher.
Mental health and learning disorders don't discriminate. 17 million children and adolescents in the United States live with disorders like anxiety, depression, ADHD, and dyslexia. Less than half get the help they need to thrive. Help the Child Mind Institute change these children's lives. Visit childmind.org.
2-2 is on the way. On the ground, diving stop by Nico. Gets him, throws him out. Great play, Nico Horner.
Good hands replay. Good range, good hands. Quickly up from the belly.
Here's a 2-2. Drilled left field. That one back on its way. Gone. Home run, Dansby Swanson. And the Cubs get a run back for Dansby, his fourth. It's 2-1.
And one of the really nice things to see here in the early going is power from Dansby Swanson. Dealt with that injury last year and a healthy here in 2025, and it's paying off. Chicago Cubs. And he tries that slider, and it's up, and then it's gone. And no doubter off the bat of Dansby Swanson.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those comes courtesy of the Marquee Network. Those were the Northsiders yesterday in a cold, frigid day. There's a breeze coming off the lake. Yes. Yes. Well, listen, my first guest, fired up to have him on. We're going to talk. The cool part about it, one, he's a freaking cool guy. If you ever get to hang out with him, let me tell you. Don't forget, we got to hang out later, Emilio. We got to go have enough. I'll bring my plastic flask again. But I can talk baseball and basketball with this guy. We're going to do such today. We'll talk a little baseball to kick it off, and then we'll finish up with basketball. But, man, you can find him on the Plunked Podcast. All right. You can find him on X or Twitter at ebucks75. Guys, welcome back to Shawn and Maya. My man's in there, Emilio Bucks. Emilio, what's up, Papa? How are you?
My man, what's going on with you?
Man, plastic flask is waiting, baby. It's waiting.
Hey, man, we're going to need it, man. It's still pretty cold out there.
Are you talking about the weather or the team?
Oh, man, both. Both. As far as the weather's cold and as far as the team, my heart is cold for these White Sox right now. I noticed this is where we are. You got to start off playing nothing but Cubs highlights because there aren't many Sox highlights again.
Tell me about it, bro.
Yeah.
Let's get right to it then. So, White Sox yesterday. So, funny story. So, Shane Smith, second really impressive outing.
Absolutely.
I mean, it wasn't for Murphy, who spells his name all jacked up, Murfee, and he didn't give up 4 straight hits. You know, we would have had the record. We would have been historic again. It would have been the first time in Major League history that the starting pitchers did not give up an earned run in the first 5 games of a season. But no, correct. Murphy gave it up. He walked after the 2 walks. Those 2 guys came home. But funny story. So one of my best friends from college, her name's Pam Benson, Dominican girl. Shane Smith played baseball with her son. So she texted me about 2 weeks ago. She's like, "Oh, that new guy, one of your pitchers is from Massachusetts, played with my son." I'm like, "Get out of here!" So I would text her like his first outing. I text her. Then yesterday I sent her a quick text, let him know he's doing really, really well. His parents he said they live right down the street, the whole 9. I'm like, dude, that's pretty cool. So
nice.
Pretty dope. But talk to me about yesterday. We can't get a run. All right, and then Clevenger walks in the game winner with no outs. He walks 3 people to lose the game.
You know, what this comes down to, I think more than anything, is run support or the lack thereof. I mean, yeah, Clevenger did wet the bed on that last outing, but it's just like the fact that it was 0-0, that lets you know that the pitching isn't really the problem here.
Pitching and defense.
You know what I mean? Like pitching and defense, we tightened it up this year.
Yeah.
And that's a major part, and we're playing some pretty good defense. Still a couple of things we could shore up, but pitching has been overall fairly solid. Besides a couple rough outings by the bullpen, can't say enough good things about this starting rotation. But yeah, man, it comes down to run support. It's like it's all for naught when you gotta, I won't go as far as calling Shane Smith a stud yet, but he's looking damn good right now.
You know what? He's got a presence on the mound when you watch him.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
he's not like I'm a bad mother Hubbard. I'm like that first time. I'm like, okay,
tough, hard hitting East Coast fella. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like what I see out of him so far, but it's going to be all for naught if we can't score any runs. 0-0.
Who do you blame that for, Emilio? Who do you put that on? Is that the players? Is that the manager? Because here's what I said, and let me know your thoughts on this. I said, all right, the White Sox, because they suck, okay, they need to be fundamentally sound. They need to be honed and extremely strong in their fundamentals. And by that, I mean we need to have somebody be able to bunt. We need to be able to have people steal bases. We need to put pressure on the defense because most teams don't play great defense when it comes to bunting and it comes to base stealing. We don't have those things. We don't have anybody who can get on, get them over, get them in. We can't create a run. And is that on the players or is it on the manager?
I think a little bit of both. I heard an interesting stat. I don't have the exact numbers, but as far as contact rate goes for the White Sox, we're among the lowest. And so it's like if you're not even making contact, it's hard to even build anything as far as bunting or playing small ball. If you're whiffing so much, you know what I mean, or it's hard to manufacture runs, I think is what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And we just aren't able to get a lot of base runners. Guys are not hitting. We had a guy, and big ups to the Dodgers for fleecing us on the Michael Kopech deal and sending us Miguel Vargas, who's our third baseman, who was not going to cover off the ball in spring training, by the way, but only hitting like 147 right now in these 10 games. That's not going to cut it. The job is his. The third base job is his, and I don't know what's going on with Luis Robert. Just a shell of what we thought he could be. We're not getting any power. The only guy that's really hitting for anything is Andrew Benintendi. He's starting off the year pretty hot. But, again, man, it just comes down to being able to put good wood on the ball, and we're not even able to do that to get base runners. Like last year, it was like just a calamity of errors. Even when we got base runners, it was like my man King Booker World mentioned Benny Hill. That's how they looked on the base path last year. It was like a Benny Hill skit. But we're not even getting a lot of base runners this year. And so that's got to change. Players got to play, man. You know what I mean? Coaching matters. And we talked all about this, man. We talked all about this. And I know you believe that, Shawn. But players just got to play. And Luis Robert it just doesn't look like he cares. And I know
blame him, though?
Yeah, I can, because it's like, dude, you still got to go out there and perform. Even if you're trying to get on with another team, you got to make yourself available and attractive to another team. You got to look like you care for to be even ingratiated in the city that you play for. And
look what he's going through, though, bro. Everybody he's come up with is gone.
Yeah.
This team sucks. All right, they lost 121 games last year. I think I think he's met because you and I, you know how I feel. Get off my lawn. All right, these young kids, this new generation, they don't have the mental resolve to go out there and be professionals. I think he's done. I think the best thing for him is to be traded. Because if you trade him to a contending team, imagine him on the Dodgers or the Yankees or the Red Sox, something like that. That's not going to fly. His attitude's not going to fly. Why? Because that's the culture. You'll see a much better Lewis Robert with a team that's good because there'll be the high tides raises all ships. There's going to be an aura about wherever he goes. He's just, dude, there's nothing here for him. I mean, I feel bad for him. And I see your point, though. Like, dude, you're making X amount of millions of dollars. You better, you're coming from a third world country, bro. You better be grateful. But by the same token, it's tough, man, when all your boys that you grew up with or you came up with are gone. It sucks.
I get it, man. I get it. It's a tough pill to swallow for him. But again, it just goes back, like you said, just be a professional. But these kids don't know nothing about that, man. What can I say? Whether it's in sports or in all avenues, they don't know nothing about hard work and just showing up every day. You know what I mean? Like they don't know anything about that. It's just not ingrained in them. Just disappointing. I can't tell you how disappointed I've been in Andrew Vaughn. We had a string of great historic first basemen, going back to Big Hurt.
20-something years?
And then Paulie, and then Abreu, and then now we're stuck with Andrew Vaughn hitting 147.
Shit, that's like 40 years, bro.
Yeah.
Frank Thomas came in the 90s.
Yeah, man.
25, 40 years.
I think Frank might have even started 89 because he was in those old uniforms, I think.
He was with the I remember because he got here, I think it might have been 91, 92, because the Bulls won a championship. And I remember the interview. Don't ask me why I remember this, but they said they talked to him about the Bulls winning. He's like, well, hopefully, we can get a couple World Series here with the White Sox. So it's early 90s.
Right
so
on,
we're talking
right on.
30 freaking years of good first baseman.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, we got a guy who doesn't hit for power, doesn't hit for average, is kind of a below average defensive third baseman, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Can't scoop the ball out of the dirt worth anything. Like, just another botched developmental experiment by our current GM and Chris Getz. So it's just not looking good. Sox on pace to have another historically bad year, sitting at 2-8 right now. Losers of 8 in a row or 6 in a row or something like that. It's just looking bad again, man. And like you can change the skipper all you want, man, but until you get a guy or an owner who's willing to go out there and buy some talent. I mean, you got to buy and develop talent, but you got to open your pocketbook up too. And until you get an owner that's willing to do that, this is what we're going to be looking at with this Sox team. We're not going to get lucky and get lightning in the bottle like it's 05. That's just not going to happen.
Yeah. When you're the only team in Major League Baseball who hasn't given out a $100 million contract, that's saying something.
Yeah.
Saying
absolutely.
Something.
Absolutely.
I hope and pray for a new owner because you can't. I've talked ad nauseum about Chris Getz. He couldn't develop these players in the minors. So what I'm going to do is I'll put you in charge of the whole baseball organization.
Yeah,
you couldn't get it done on a minor league level.
So
let me give you the power to be in charge of all baseball. That doesn't make any sense. So
it reeks of privilege, Shawn. I don't know what else to say. Like,
dude, I wish I would have worked for a guy like Reinsdorf.
Oh man, seriously,
job security forever.
Underachieve and then get promoted. Like, oh, okay, this is nice.
The more you underachieve, the higher you go up in a corporation.
Evidently, but then you see the condition of his organization.
Yeah,
the one that he is hands-on in charge of. I'm not even talking about the Bulls right now because that's another conversation, but just talking about the White Sox, the one that Jerry Reinsdorf is hands-on in charge of. We see it is in complete and utter disarray.
Yeah,
a complete shit show and a nightmare. Everything bad.
We're losers of 6 straight, the South Siders are. But let's go to the North Side and talk about them. They got up to a hot start. All right, they lead the NL Central. All right, Kyle Tucker, every single freaking day, he's like, more money, more money, more money.
Man, he's right. That counter is just going up and up and up.
More money, more money, more
And
money.
hey, Ricketts better be ready with that pocketbook. He better be ready. He better just hand him a blank check and say, just fill in what you want, sir. King Tuck.
Man, I'll tell you what. And I said this also about the Cubs, what I said about the Sox. I'm like, you need to get stronger in your fundamentals. Be really, really strong in your fundamentals. So what do the Cubs do? They lead baseball in stolen bases and runs. So you got guys running. This is the way you win games. You get them on, get them over, get them in.
Aggressive on the base path.
You know what? Who had 2 stolen bases yesterday? Someone had a stolen base yesterday. I was just for the Cubs.
Well, I don't know if it was PCA or who. No, somebody else.
Yeah, it was someone. It was Birdie. Birdie.
Yeah.
Birdie. But you get
playing
these guys
third.
Stealing.
Yeah.
And now they're stealing. So now you're a base knock away from bringing a run across. Cubs are doing a great job of it. And you know what? That's hats off to Craig Counsell. All right, he's usually the guy who gives a sign. Managers are usually the guy who gives a sign to steal. He understands what he's got. He understands the fundamentals, and he understands that the NL Central is there for the taking.
Absolutely.
It's literally there for the taking. And the Cubs continue to do what they're doing. They're going to run away with it by freaking July.
Yeah. So, I would say pump the brakes a little bit because it's still the Cubs we're talking about. You know what I mean?
It is.
But it's looking good. And like you said, the division is open for them to take. It's there for the taking. Reds underachieving. Milwaukee usually takes a while to get up and go. We don't know what they're going to do this year. But
Forgot about the Cardinals.
Oh no, yeah, the Cardinals
don't even exist anymore.
Yeah, man. Leading the majors in batting average, oddly enough, but you got to have it on both sides.
So yeah, the Cubs are in a good spot. The rotation is good. Their bullpen though is the one spot that could really, really hurt them. And
absolutely, them and most other teams have some bullpen issues to deal with. I mean, you're talking about trying to get lightning in a bottle. That is the struggle of getting your bullpen solid. I mean, it's a balance. It's a intricate dance of moving chairs all throughout the season. Rotating in guys who are hot and rotating out guys who aren't. Using your who's you got down in AAA. And all of those shifts. Like it's a hats off to a guy who can keep a steady bullpen throughout the season, because I think that's one of the most hardest parts of the skipper's job is keeping that bullpen rotation steady. And there's some work to be done, but hey, if the Cubs keep hitting like this, it's going to give them a little bit more time to get that together.
Give them a lot of leeway, and you don't have to worry about it. And but that's the one thing about bullpens, man, is like you can be. I mean, the streaks that they go on. This dude's lights out for 2 weeks. Next month, he's serving up beach balls.
Yeah.
All right. And then you got to say, okay, well, when is he coming out of the slump? Do I want to put him in? Do I got to put him in a non-save
situation. Yeah.
Going out just to get him some work, and you can be good one year and the next year, same guys completely suck.
Completely sucks. Yeah.
So it's tough. And right now, I agree with you. Counsell's he's got to find that balance. Find out he's got a decent amount of arms in there, so find out who works well where. I continue to use them until they start to struggle. Then then there's another juggling act. Then you know what I mean, and that's tough. And Craig Counsell, you're going to earn all the money that they gave you, because
absolutely
for you to do that, if you can do that and pick right as far as relievers who are setup men, who your closer is. And is it by committee, and then watch it. If you can do that well and save Cubs some late game losses, man, those wins add up quick, fast, in a hurry, man. They will add up in a hurry. So Cubs got a nice little task ahead of them for the rest of this remainder of this season.
Absolutely. Still a ton of baseball to be played, as we know. But great time to be a Cubs fan right now, because things are trending upward. Well, any thoughts of getting yourself a Cubs jersey, Shawn?
Dude, I got toilet paper. What are you talking about?
Oh, my bad, dude.
Thanks, Emilio. It was great having you on, buddy.
Oh, man, are you cutting me short for that one? My bad. It was a joke, my brother. It was a joke. It was a joke.
Oh, man. Well, let's switch gears. Let's talk about the West Side.
For
Our
sure,
bullies,
man.
baby.
For
Our
sure,
Bulls.
man.
Man,
Hey, man.
what is going on with these jokers? So they finally got younger and more athletic.
And like they wanted to. They are playing the style of basketball that Billy always desired. There are currently no black holes on this team. Sans maybe, when Javon Carter gets in the game, which isn't a lot. But you don't have any black holes named DeMar Rosen or even your Zach LaVines anymore. And that ball movement is fluid. They are flying up and down the court, playing downhill.
Playing defense.
Playing defense on their rotations, just playing energetic, pressing teams. Couldn't do anything with Cleveland last night, but hell, the league can't do anything with Cleveland right now.
Yeah.
So, it is what it is with that last night. But, looking good right now. This is the youth movement, and I am happy to say, is it looking like we're not going to have to go rock bottom for this rebuild, possibly? You know what I mean? So, looking good. All things are upward right now. We still got a ton of work to do for the Bulls. You know what I mean? Like, still need a bona fide star. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, Kobe looks to be possibly on his way.
I think Kobe could be Robin to somebody's Batman.
Exactly. Kobe looking like he could definitely be a number 2 guy on a contending team.
I said that as well. I'm like, they got their core. So either next offseason, because I don't think it'll happen this offseason, but put it this way, this offseason or sometime the trade deadline next year or next offseason, they need to go get a superstar.
Absolutely.
You need to go get like someone like
Absolutely.
Ant-Man or somebody. I'm not saying he's available. They're going to get him, but someone like him.
They need a real guy.
Yeah, they need someone who's young, all right, who is amazing right now, and put them the guy who everyone's getting the ball at the end of the game.
Yes, and who's going to deliver at the end of the game.
They need that dude, and I like it. Talk to me about Josh Giddey, because I had to apologize to him because I didn't like that dude. He reminded me of Sunshine from
the Titans.
Remember the Titans? He was always crying about fouls, which he still does. But that dude freaking flirts with a triple-double, flirted with a quadruple-double a week ago. And I had to back off and apologize and like, hey, dog, you keep doing your Ice Cube last week and mess around and got a triple-double.
Right.
And I ain't got nothing to say, dog. You can complain you can bitch him on all you want. The rest, you keep giving me triple doubles, dog.
I mean, you know what, Shawn? I'll say this about Giddey. He came in here and he did the work. When he came here, what was the word about Giddey? He can't shoot. Worth shit. And when we first saw him,
he couldn't shoot
worth shit. But now, how much has he improved his shot? Just since the beginning. Yeah, it's just since the beginning of the year. He's come in and he's done the work. His turnover rate is down from what it was in OKC. He's making smarter decisions. He's looking like a real leader and a floor general out there. And he has taken his game. Bulls passed on giving him an immediate extension. So they said, okay, like, show us. We're not going to give you this money. Show us.
And he's like, hold my beer.
Hold my beer. Hold my Fosters.
Fosters.
Yeah. Hold my Foster beer.
And he bet on himself. And I'll tell you what. So Absolutely. Are you comfortable with the Bulls giving him $25-30 million a year now after this season?
I'm not comfortable with the Bulls giving anybody that money because it just feels like the Bulls always mess that up and botch that. But I wouldn't be mad at it. I mean, you got to keep him.
You have to.
You got to keep him at this point. Now, where I think they may have moved too quickly, and we'll see, is the extension for Lonzo Ball.
I think
I
they
like
did.
Lonzo.
I think they did that because I don't think Josh had shown them what he's shown them now. They jumped the gun.
He hadn't, and they re-signed him before they went on this run.
Yep.
And so you can't quite fault him for him. It was kind of it's a team friendly contract, and
right.
they've invested so much money in him, paid him and all his rehab for all of these years. It's kind of like you want to see what the guy can contribute after this point, after you've been a part of his miraculous comeback. But all these things that we're seeing have happened without Lonzo, without Io. At first, it started without P. Will, but P. Will has picked it up in this past 8 or 9 games. Still would put P. Will on the trading block going into next season. Just my thoughts, but yeah, man, it's Josh Giddey. That's where we started. Yeah, man, you got to give him. And what are he's restricted free agent, so the Bulls can match anything, and they damn well better.
Yeah.
You damn well better not let him walk, because if you let him walk, then you gave away Caruso for nothing, and then you're letting Giddey, who has been one of the main anchors between him and Kobe of this resurgence of the Bulls. You can't let him walk. And when you're looking young, I mean, and Giddey's only like, what is he, 22, 23?
22.
Come on, man.
And that's the limit. And that's the crazy part, is that we keep forgetting. A lot of times fans, even media, we forget, like, he came over at 19.
Yeah.
Like, his body's not even physically developed.
His brain isn't even completely
exactly. His
developed.
His IQ is not where it needs to be. And when guys 18, 19, 20, and we had, and that was the excuse for Patrick Williams for a while. Like, he was a freshman for a while. After, now that he's his 30th year in the league, like, I think we can.
You got what you got with P. Will. You know what I mean?
But I think also a change of scenery did him good. And I think he found he played with a chip on his. He plays with a chip on his shoulder.
Absolutely.
And I think he used the motivation of being traded. And I'm telling you what, I like Giddey big time. I hated that dude. Didn't want him at all.
He's a guy that you don't like when you're playing against him. You don't even like how he looks.
Rebounds, and I love him because he's for us. But the miss, and he comes flying out of nowhere and grabs a rebound. And I'm like, oh my god,
we needed rebounding. Yes, badly. So like him, I mean, he's missed a triple-double. So like what can you say? I can't say enough good things about Giddey so far this year. Like I said, I didn't even like the look on his face when he got here.
Nothing about him.
But I love his chippy attitude, like that toughness that we felt like this team has lacked for years. We see that attitude in Giddey. We see him getting chippy with Luka and getting under Luka's skin. Like, I love it. Yes. Like, hey, man, let's run. Let's run with it.
So what do you think is going to happen with Kobe? All right, Kobe's got one more year left in his contract, and he can go into unrestricted free agency. You think he stays because he's outplayed his contract big time? I think Kobe's a bona fide star. I don't think he's a superstar yet, but I think he's a bona fide star. And do you think he gives the Bulls a chance to first right of refusal with free agency, or he's just like, boom, I'm out next year, I'm gone?
That's a good question, man. That's a good question. I would like to see him stay, especially playing the way he's been playing. Billy loves him. It seems like he gets along well with Billy. There's a chemistry that's going on right now between him and Giddey and these new guys that they got from the Zach trade with Herter and
yes,
Trey Jones coming off the bench and Collins, and there's a chemistry going on that I don't want to see broken up. Like, I like what we got right now. Still got some pieces missing, but I like what we got right now. I even like Vooch in the mix, like right now.
Dude, he's blocking shots. He's jumping. He's protecting the rim. Like, who the hell is this dude?
But like you mentioned, man, like when the level of everything around the player goes up, the player his level tends to go up. And
Yeah.
so we're seeing a lot of that, like proper sharing of the ball is really like encouraging for Vooch.
I really like where he's taking his game. I didn't think he can get back up to this level, but he has. And you're right. Maybe the influx of youth helped him. You got, and don't forget, Jalen Smith is a nice piece coming off the bench. Not that he's going to push Vooch to take his job. No, but you see a guy off the bench playing, it motivates you. And then
he saw Collins come in.
That was my next point.
When he was out hurt, and he saw Collins come in, like that could be my replacement. I'm not saying Collins is on the level of Vooch in his best days, but like you saw the writing was on the wall. Like, okay,
you saw what he could be with consistent minutes.
Absolutely.
I said that was Orlando Vooch 2.0. Zach could be the way he runs the floor, rim protects, can pass. He had the three. That was Vooch when he was younger.
Yeah, and
it could be it. So hopefully that goes well because I like Zach Collins. I like all those guys. And Trey, the point guard,
Trey Jones.
Trey Jones.
Yeah,
he's hurt, but now we're good at the point guard position. We got Giddey, we got Trey, we got Ball. We got three good guys who can run the point. So I'm happy with what we have, and I hope it's not an odd man out where Trey Jones, we trade him or let him go because I like what he's done. And Billy likes him too.
I think the odd man out could be the homeboy in Io.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we all like Io, but he's just very limited offensively. As far as being consistent and just the guys that have come in, like this chemistry that is there. It's just we haven't seen this since like maybe the launch of that Zach and DeMar and Lonzo Ball threesome that we first had. We haven't seen this type of chemistry since then, and you can't you can't shake it up. You know what I mean? You got to ride this thing. You know what I mean? And there's still like a 0.001% chance we get a high draft pick or something, Hey, man, maybe if the fix is in with the NBA, we end up with Cooper Flag just the same. You know what I mean? Like,
speaking of Cooper Flag, I'm along with Kendall Gill. Like, we got our Cooper Flag.
Yeah, we haven't even talked about Buzelis.
He was next, man. Talked about this joker because everyone talks about Cooper Flag and what he's done. I'm like, okay, that's great. But he's doing it against college players. Montes Buzelis is 19, doing it, 20 years old now, doing it against grown-ass Mickey-Ficky men.
And Kendall Gill says Buzelis was owning Cooper Flag last year when they were scrimmaging together.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw that online. I saw the video. They were going at it.
I didn't see the video. Yeah. Kendall Gill swears by like, we don't need Cooper Flag. We got him already. And Buzelis, I love what I see out of Buzelis. He's got the toughness. He's got that attitude. Chicago grit. He's got the grit, and he's super athletic. I mean, he's like a young KD almost. Like, if he shore up that jumper a little bit tighter, he can slash.
What can't he do? He can slash, hit you from three, hit you with the mid range. He can post up, hit you with the fadeaway.
Well, how did we get lucky and land that guy, man? And
dude, he's
and I can't not mention Billy because I've been as hard on Billy on these platforms as anybody. I wanted him gone. But I gotta say, Billy, and I was talking to my man Scoop Jackson about this last season, and he said Billy seems to do better with less. He's a great teacher of the game. And so he does great with young players. Obviously, we saw what he did in Florida. We saw what he did with a young OKC team. And we see what he's doing with this young, super fast Bulls team that are flying up and down the court. Shout out to Bill Dunn, just elected to the Hall of Fame. So it's like, what do? You're not going to fire your newly enshrined Coach, yeah, how does that look? You fire him, he just goes in the Hall of Fame, and you fire him, like so, like. I saw somebody on a post say, like, hey, go after Mike Malone. I'm like, I hear thee, but this might not be the time. Billy looks like he's got the job shored up right now.
For a minute.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing. I was gonna pull it up, but I think I deleted it. Steve, if you could put the Billy thing back up in my folder. So I had a little yeah, Steve, if you can put Billy back up in the overlays. But yeah, him being inducted into the Hall of Fame is crazy. And it's this coach, he's coaching. This is the type of team he wants because he likes young players who he can develop. Yeah. All right. And then there's a trust that's there now. Now they trust him, he trusts them.
Yeah.
All right. He allows them to play. He allows them to grow and make mistakes.
Mm-hmm. He never gave up on Kobe.
Never. No, you're right. And now look at that Joker.
Yeah.
He still hasn't given up on P. Will. And I think he should have, but he still hasn't given up on P. Will.
I think the organization should have gave up on P. Will, but hey, they still owe him $77 million. So like, I don't know.
And he looked good yesterday.
He did. He was like 5 for 5 from 3 at one point yesterday. Yeah.
And so there's times when he looks like a legitimate, like he could be a budding superstar. And then other times, like, dude, get this guy off. Get him off.
He just looks like not even competing in the G League other times.
Yeah. Here's what I was going to post up here.
Man. Bill. Shout out to Billy.
Big time. I love it. And they're fun to watch. They got a lot of people excited again. They got a lot of people excited about Bulls basketball because Bulls basketball was dead for me and for a lot of other Bulls fans. It was dead for a while.
Just 3 months ago.
Yeah, literally. And before we got rid of Zach and them guys, and now look at us. Now people want I was trying to think of how to get to the game tonight or Friday before they, I'm like, man, dude, because I want to see this team. I want to see him play. I want to see the excitement. I want to see him up and down the court. I want to see the youth. They are caught up. They're playing 21st century basketball, and it's fun.
It is fun. They are currently fun to watch.
Like and the Kevin Herter guy?
I never thought I would have said that this season.
Mm-hmm. And even Kevin Herter, nice little 3-point shooter. Like,
great
man,
addition.
dude.
Great addition. We kind of won the Zach LaVine trade.
I think so.
We won the Zach LaVine trade.
I think so.
I didn't think that was possible. I didn't think that was even possible. Because, I was just thinking about it in terms of like one-on-one, a one-on-one trade. Like who are we going to get that's as valuable as Zach LaVine? Who's going to give us, 20 plus points a game? But it's just not that simple. It's just about the nuances of the game and the way they play together. And when you remove Zach and added those other pieces, the team just works so much better now.
Because those 20 points are made up by 2 points here, 2 points there. Giddy getting a triple-double, in assists, leading the baskets.
Kobe averaging 30 points in March. You know what I mean? So
player of the month. It allowed a lot of other people to shine, and that was good. And that's why I think, you and I both agree, you need one star. You need a superstar. We got some stars, but we need a superstar. Because I think, truth be told, I think Matas could grow into a superstar.
He plans to.
When him in the 26-27 season, after 2 complete off seasons of the weight room this year and next, man, dude, if he comes out,
he hits that weight room,
if he comes out looking like a Lowry Markkanen or a Greek Freak, because remember, Greek Freak was skinny as a mother.
Skinny as hell. He looked like a little boy, just a tall little boy when he first came in. Yeah.
And now he's not bulky. He's just filled out. And if that can happen to Matas,
he got his man body. Matas will get his natural man body. Is going to still come in the next few years while he's still on his rookie deal with this team. And man, it's exciting. The future looks good right now for the Bulls. Don't mess it up. Don't let Kobe walk. Don't let Giddey walk. Pay these guys. and make your team attractive to a superstar free agent.
Yeah.
You know, make your team attractive.
And I think they are. I think
this team is.
You got to keep, and if you keep Kobe and Josh, then it remains attractive because look, in the league, the association, they know who's doing what.
Oh yeah,
it's not all Sports Center and most people follow Sports Center and he's doing this. No, they know who the ballers are. They see Josh Giddey coming close to a triple double. They see Kobe White. They see Billy just got elected to the Hall of Fame. Players know.
Inside track, like Bulls is on to something right now.
Yes, they are.
The Bulls are on to something.
And it's going to be very exciting for the next five or so years with this team. If we can get a superstar, it'll be longer than that because these kids are young, man. Giddey's 22. Matis is 20. Kobe's only 25.
Kobe's still young.
Dude, he's going right. He's not even he's about to get into his prime.
Really his prime. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So things are looking up for the Bulls. I mean, we got the best fans in the association by far, man. You know what I mean? And everybody that comes through here and plays knows like the fans are great. You know, it's a packed house. You know, you got people to play for. You got people to pick you up when you're up and you're down in this city. So you know, how about people coming in knock down 3-point shoot? Yeah, man. You know, just the level of play, and you'd be surprised. You know, it's just what confidence can do for a guy.
Yeah. According to based on Giddey's numbers, he's a superstar, in my opinion. I think he's a star.
He's on his way to stardom.
Yeah, he's definitely there. He's definitely on that path, and that's great for us. Yeah. All right, he's you know what I'll even say according to this, I'll say he's an unknown superstar. All right, because we know there's a lot of people who when you look at what they do, it's great, but because it's a certain person and it's not another person who's had a lot of hype, you don't get the coverage. And I think Josh Giddey didn't have a lot of hype. You know, he's from Australia, mate. All right. His career in Oklahoma City was at best. So it's going to take time, but I agree. The numbers he's putting up. I mean, imagine there's Russell Westbrook numbers. I mean, add anyone, put his numbers up with anyone else. You're like, oh my God, the guy's a star. He's just unheralded. And I think he's
just got to do it for a little bit longer before we start giving him any kind of labels like star or superstar. He's got to finish out this season strong, which I have no doubt he will. And he's got to put together, once he puts it all together going into next season, then we can start giving him that label of star and whatnot.
My guy King Booker World doesn't call. He said we can't give Patrick Williams a nickname. No more P. Will. He's Patrick Williams or P. Won't.
Man, he's Patrick Williams or the Cowardly Lion.
That's crazy, dude. That's hilarious. Hey, well, listen, Emilio, great stuff as always, man. I appreciate it. Do me a favor. Good
talking to you, brother.
Before you go, let everybody know where they can find you and your work online.
Absolutely, man. You can find me every Thursday night, 9:00 Central. I host, along with Kristen Stats, I host the Bull Spit podcast right now because we're having basketball and baseball. We do a split podcast, Bull Spit and Plunk. So catch us 9:00 Central every other Thursday night.
Okay.
Chicago Clubhouse Network.
Cool, man. Hey, I'll hit you up because my buddy's having a get together, a Sox tailgate. So when tickets are only like $60 for a 100 level and all some good stuff. So I'll hit you up.
Man. Hit me up, please do.
And then you know that blast is coming, baby.
It's in effect, be in full effect. Let's do it, man.
Hey, great stuff, man. I appreciate it. We'll talk soon, man. Thanks.
All right, brother. You be well. Peace.
All right, now. Guys, that's Emilio Bucks from the Plunked and the Bull Spit podcast. We would love talking to him, man. Like I said, we could talk multiple sports, and that's great. That is great. The Bulls are in a good spot. I'm happy with them. They're not world beaters right now, but guess what? It takes time. It takes time. And watch, these moves that are being made, these are the little moves that make boom. You sign Josh Giddey. I know you got to give him some money. Hey, that's the cost of doing business. You go and you sign Kobe. Keep that intact. As I said, keep the Bulls attractive to free agents. keep it an attractive destination for free agents. So you got some money to spend. Because if you do, build it. They will come. Hey, listen, let's take a quick break. On the other side of the break, we're going to go back. We're going to talk a little Bears football. The boys are back in town. Cue up the bus boys. The boys are back in town. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about how excited are you?
Yes, we've been waiting for a long, long time.
We've been
waiting for a long time. But we ain't going to wait no more. We're getting ready to rock and roll. We're going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Well, there's a reason everybody should be shaking in the house tonight.
Steve-O! That's what I'm talking about, baby. The boys are back, and I love it. I love it. So keep it locked right here, folks. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Time out. How are you feeling right now? Happy? Excited? Angry? Overwhelmed? One of the best things you can do for your mind health is to name what you're feeling. It can sharpen your awareness and help you talk about your feelings with someone you trust. Here are 3 questions to ask yourself. Where are your thoughts right now? In the past, the present, the future? Do you notice any sensations in your body? Is your heart beating fast? Is there a flutter in your stomach? Or are you fully relaxed? What do you need right now? Time with others? Time to yourself? Remember, there's power in this awareness. So find ways to identify what you're feeling today.
Hi, guys. Hey. Hi, Megan. Hey, Jessica. Megan, you're a tramp. Brian Fitch told me you guys made out. Everybody knows. He said your breath smells like garbage. And he almost puked. He says you're the most desperate girl he knows, besides your mom. How many boyfriends does she have anyway? Lots? Your makeup makes you look like a clown. That zit is huge, zit face.
Hey, bud, what you doing?
I'm playing with cars.
Cars? Can you show me what a car does? Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on a second. First of all, this is a school zone. So you need to put down your cell phone, stop texting, and let's get to driving. Now you're coming up to a stop sign, right? You need to slow down and stop before you hit that Y line. I want you to look left, right, left. You don't want to get hit by a car going on your left, and to your right to make sure you don't get sideswiped by a guy coming from your right. You're coming, and you see a crosswalk. You better slow your horses down, because the #1 rule of driving is always yield to pedestrians. Now stop, pull over, and you are done driving. Gosh, what do they teach you kids in school nowadays?
Give me a sense for how it's going to push you out of your comfort zone as a coach.
Yeah. I mean, today we had our first quiz as a QB room, and it's not like a real quiz where you go up and write stuff. It's just us. We went over a few things yesterday, talked about a few things, and Ben walked in this morning, flung open the door, made a grand entrance, and then we got to work of him testing us about what we talked about yesterday and things like that. So already first day in and challenging us, and everybody loves a challenge in this sport. It's one of the great things about the sport. Every day is a challenge, and today we got our first one.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. listed courtesy of the Chicago Bears. That's the quarterback, Caleb Williams, and talking about his relationship with Ben Johnson. And it seems like there are going to be no issues. Seems like as of right now, he's all in on Ben Johnson. Thankfully so. All right, rightfully so. Thankfully so, because this has got to work. This has got to work. And it's good to see that he's excited about it. It's good to see most of the players are excited about it. All right. I like the fact that, and it happens with a new staff, with new beginnings. Everyone is excited and the possibilities are endless. I get it. But the thing is, you get a guy who actually calls plays. You get a guy who you saw develop a quarterback. Okay, a quarterback that the LA Rams didn't want. The LA Rams felt like he could not win them a Super Bowl. They got to the Super Bowl with him, and they felt that was a ceiling. He couldn't win one. So they traded for Detroit's quarterback, win the Super Bowl, and said, see, we made the right decision. But all of a sudden, the last 3 years, now that this guy's been under the tutelage of Ben Johnson, you saw how well he plays as a quarterback. Jared Goff is not a buster. Jared Goff led the NFL's leading offense. So you see now this guy comes over, and first thing he says was, it's not just a click and drag. I'm not just going to drop this offense in here and say, run it. We're going to tear it down to the studs. We're going to tear it down, and we're going to build it up around Caleb. So when you see what he did with Jared Goff and how he built him up, because Jared Goff's confidence was shot. How would you feel? You get a team to the Super Bowl. You know how difficult it is to get to the Super Bowl to begin with? After the Detroit Lions. How difficult it is to get to the Super Bowl. And then they get there, and then the team that you lead there says, yeah, we can't win with you. We need an upgrade at the quarterback position. If you don't think that's a mind blow, you're crazy. So he goes to Detroit. His confidence is shot. And what does Ben Johnson do? He builds it up. Gets him to the point where he leads an explosive offense. And now that guy who built that explosive offense in Detroit is running the show here. So I'm excited as all get out, because I really would like to see an offense that a 21st century offense. How crazy would it be? And this is not far-fetched. How crazy would it be that the Bears are the number one offense in the NFL in 2-3 seasons? Is it unfathomable? No. We've got the talent. Caleb Williams has the talent. We just upgraded the offensive line. We got 2 stud receivers. We have a good tight end. So now add another tight end, add another running back. And all we need is the quarterback play. And that should be handled by Ben Johnson. It should be handled by him. And Caleb should come out on the other end of this looking like a superstar. That's all we need. As I said, I don't think this year we'll win because of Caleb. I think we'll win with him. But I think next year, it's a whole nother ball game. But I'm not going to go toward next year. Stay present. Like I always tell you guys, stay present. Stay in the present. And the present right now is he's got to learn a new system. And everyone, listen, I'm tired of everybody arguing about or discussing, oh, well, he's got to learn how to go under center. What the hell do you mean you got to learn how to go under center? He's been under center, just not consistently. Going under center is easier. In my opinion, it's easier because your dropbacks, everything is in rhythm. You're forced to drop back quickly, and everything is in rhythm off your 3-step or your 5-step or your 7-step drop. Everything's off those. I should say the majority, because you also have to consider when we go play action. But people have said, oh, what if he doesn't get it? What do you mean, what if he doesn't get it? Stop the nonsense. Stop it. Getting Caleb in structure is going to be the best thing that happens to him. In turn, it'll be one of the best things that ever happens to this Bears organization, getting him in structure. Okay, when you look at good quarterbacks, okay, look at good quarterbacks, you see their footwork, you see their reads, you see them getting rid of the ball quickly. You see it, Junior, huh? My shirt. Cornelius says, Ben Johnson getting Caleb under center is the key to turning the Bears into one of the top offenses. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. King Booker Will said, Ben Johnson is going to have us in disbelief that our Bears look offensively dominant. Yeah. That's crazy to say. Like the last good offense we had was 2013, Jay Cutler, Brandon Marshall, Alshon Jeffrey, Martellus Bennett, Matt Forte, stud offensive line. Every single person on that offense had or was going to have gone to a Pro Bowl. Every single person. So we have an opportunity right now. We can have a couple of people. DJ Moore, Roma Dunze, Caleb Williams, maybe Cole Kmet. I don't know about DeAndre Swift. Maybe a running back that we draft this year. These guys can all be Pro Bowlers. What about our offensive line? We have talent. We have a talented offense, one that is up there in the NFL. Not in the NFC North or the NFC, but in the entire NFL. That's a strong statement because there's a lot of talented teams. Foster Covers. Good morning, Papa. Thank you for tuning in. He says, I want to see 27 plus points a game. You, me, and all of Bears Nation. You get us to if we average 27 points a game, we're going to the playoffs. We're going to the playoffs, baby. If we average 27 plus points a game. And I don't have a problem saying it. With this defense, and whoever we get on the defensive side of the ball in this year's draft, yeah. Because, again, I don't know where we're going as far as the draft. But if we can somehow get Mason Grant, or we trade back and we can get Kenneth Grant later in the draft, I think that's going to do us wonders. All right, people talked about Gervon Dexter looking a lot thinner, a lot more svelte. Talking about maybe he could be a defensive end. He has the height and the length for it in a Dennis Allen type of defense. And that means you could also bump him inside if you want to go NASCAR package. King Booker World says, I think we see the arrival of Cole Kmet this year. I hope so. I hope so. Foster Cover says, Imanwari and Grant would be awesome to me. Yeah, that would be a nice pair to have on defense. And again, where would Grant play the nose? Would we play the 3-tech? I don't know. King Booker, well, no, I don't believe I did, sir. What day did you send it? What day did you send it? Let me know. Because if you sent, let me know the day you sent it so I can make sure I go back and check that day. Yeah, let me know. So I'd love to check it out. But you see the excitement of the players. You see, and it's a little different this year. And it's going to be different because you understand, you have a good coach. You have a guy that you can follow. You have a guy who's going to allow this offense to score some points. Something that we haven't had in a long time. So you see the excitement of a lot of people. And I know Jalen Johnson said, he's tempering expectations. This is his third head coach in the Bears organization. I get it. I understand. I hear you. But a lot of them are excited because this is different. This is a guy. You're finally getting the guy. See, Matt, even wasn't the belle of the ball a couple of years ago. He wasn't. He was just another good defensive coordinator who had done his time, moved up the ranks, but even got someone did him a favor. He was on that staff that Josh McDaniel left, hung out to dry in Indy. But in no way, shape, or form was Matt Eberflus the belle of the ball. There's no way, shape, or form that he was the guy that everybody wanted. Ben Johnson is the guy that everybody wanted this offseason. Every team with a head coaching vacancy wanted Ben Johnson. And we got him. And he chose us. He chose us. I'm sure a lot of it had to do with Caleb and the players here. But whatever the reason, he chose us. And I'll tell you what, it goes without saying. It's always good to feel wanted, whether it's in sports, whether it's in life, whether it's in business, our personal relationships, our platonic, our friendships. It's always good to be wanted. And right now, Bears fans, we should feel some kind of way because the belle of the ball wanted us. The belle of the ball wanted to come here. The belle of the ball wanted to take this franchise back to the mountaintop. It feels good to be wanted. Now let's get to work. Now it's time to go to work. Cornelius Squall says, we've never had a team in my lifetime that scored a lot of points. I've been following the Bears since 63. Now, don't forget the 13 team wasn't bad with Marshall, Jeffrey, Martellus Bennett, and Matt Forte and Cutler. Eberflus wasn't even the pumpkin that grew out of the manure. But there's a lot of different, everyone else talked about how happy they were. They're able to, and this is the thing that I like about it. Just bringing it back to my personal experience. When you got guys saying, I can't wait to get back to hang with the guys. It was good to be back with the guys. As a team that's built some strong friendships and some strong bonds. Those are the teams that usually do well. Those are the teams. I don't think the Bears are going to be a Super Bowl contender this year, but it doesn't mean they can't have a good season. It doesn't mean they can't improve. It doesn't mean we can't get excited about the future. Just because I don't feel they're going to be a Super Bowl contending team, there can be a lot of good that happens. A lot. We can see the development of some players before our eyes. We can see a couple of upset wins before our eyes. We can see the journey of a quarterback who many label as generational, but most Bears fans would say he might be the best quarterback in Bears history. To watch him mature and take steps forward would be great. I'd like to make the playoffs. I'd like to be in a playoff hunt, but if I had to choose playoff hunt this year, but Caleb doesn't develop. Give me the development. It's either playoffs this year or he develops. I want to see this young man develop. I want to see him on a structure. What do we talk? I talked about it in all other sports. When you have the fundamentals down, then you can really, truly, truly, truly become a great player or a team, whatever. Look at all the stars in the NBA. Look at all the stars in baseball. Look at all the stars in basketball. Just about all of them are fundamentally sound. And that's what Caleb needs to do. Get fundamentally sound. Get under center. Get comfortable being under center. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. And he got him there. And that's the one thing. Caleb Williams knows and understands that Ben Johnson is going to push him. And the crazy part is, he wants to be pushed. Chicago Sports Podcast. You're not a Bears fan, you're just a Fields fan. Well, obviously, then you don't know jack shit. I appreciate the comment, but you're completely off. Completely off. My thoughts as we draw closer to the draft. I mean, obviously, we need to see the way things pan out. Who gets taken, right? Because there's some reports that Shedeurs dropping out of the top 10. Some even say he's dropping out of the first round. Not hardly. And one of the questions I have is this. People are talking about his arrogance. People are talking about Deion being a helicopter parent. Because Deion said there's some teams I won't allow him to go to. He said, I've dominated in this game. I know organizations. I know how things should run. And I know when organizations don't run them that way. And people are giving Deion a lot of flack for it online. And unfortunately, here's the issue. I hate to make it a race thing, but were you okay with Eli Manning telling people he wasn't going to, was it San Diego? Were you okay with were you mad at Archie Manning? Were you mad at Archie Manning and call him a helicopter parent when he manipulated the draft to get his son to not go to San Diego? Were you mad at John Elway's dad? Same thing. No one says shit about that at that particular point, but now because it's Deion, because it's prime time, and he's doing the same thing. He's not even saying, he's just saying he doesn't want his son to go certain places. But now it's Deion, now it's a problem. Now it's a helicopter parent. Now it's going to be an issue. Now it's this, now it's that. It wasn't a problem for the Mannings. Hell, he did it with Peyton and with Eli. Eli just had to sit out. I mean, Peyton didn't have to sit out. It was Peyton. He didn't want Peyton to go to San Diego. So once they had the coin toss, wasn't it the coin toss? They had the coin toss who got the first pick. And once it was Indianapolis, they're like, okay, we could do that. Where's all the vitriol for Archie Manning? John Elway's dad. Where's that? I said Archie did it twice. But because the black man saying what's best for his son in a game that he's already dominated, it's not like Deion doesn't know what's going on. It's not like Deion has never played football. It's not like Deion isn't a Hall of Famer. It's not like Deion hasn't played for a couple of good, really good, great organizations. He understands what it means. He understands getting a quarterback in a shitty situation, what it can do to him. But a lot of people have a lot to say because it's Deion. Steve-O said there was a lot of outcry when the Mannings did it. I don't recall. I know there are people who didn't like it, but again, it was a different time. There was no social media. It wasn't bombarded by it. We weren't bombarded with it. Maybe it's a different time, and it's easier for us to hear people's gripes and bitching and moaning now because of social media. But it just didn't seem as severe. I mean, it could have been. But we just didn't have access to it. Steve said just allows you to just shut up and play going on. Peyton and Eli were great players. Sanders isn't as good as them. You don't know that. Eli wasn't Peyton coming out of college. I can't argue that. Eli coming out of college, Eli wasn't a world beater. Coming out of Ole Miss, he wasn't a world beater. And he did more to affect him not going to San Diego than Peyton did. What do you think Sanders can't do? Eli didn't have a strong arm, and now people are questioning the arm of Shedeur Sanders. You know, here's the thing. Colorado went from a 1-win team to what, a 9-win team last year? Do you know how difficult that is? You don't. Take a program from 1 win to 9 wins in 2 seasons. Yeah, so they got there in 23. They're 1-11. 1-11, 4-8, 9-4. Archie was really good, but the Saints sucked. All right, you don't lead the team to 9 wins if you're not a good quarterback. All right, there's a lot, and I'm not saying Shedeur is the best thing to come out of the college football. No, I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is the slight that's coming, and the hate that's coming towards Shedeur is unwarranted. Accuracy, great. Deep ball, maybe get a little good. I wouldn't say great, good. But you show me one quarterback that came out of college ready to go. ready to be an all-pro. No one has. Not that I can remember. We got to go back to Marino? There's going to be room for improvement. And Shedeur is going to need a support system like every quarterback needs a support system. And if you don't know that, you're not even a Bears fan, because you know how many times have we talked about the Bears quarterbacks not having help, having a crappy offensive line, having crappy receivers, having crappy play callers. How long has that been going on here? So you can't even deny the fact that a quarterback needs a support system. And that's all Deion wants. He wants his son to go to a place where they have a support system for him. Or they have a coach, if he's new, that he knows, he trusts is going to get that support system for his son. He wants his son to be successful. And destination is a huge part. If Patrick Mahomes was drafted here, he wouldn't have 17 freaking Super Bowl rings now. What, has he got 3 of them? He wouldn't have those 3 rings. He wouldn't have them. Not if he was here. We passed up on him. So it's not like Deion's doing something that's never been done before. It's not like Deion is doing this to keep his name relevant. He doesn't need to do that, but as a father, he's going to do what a father can do to protect his son. Steve said Patrick would overcome the coaching. He is so great. Yeah, would he overcome the wide receiving core that he had, the crappy wide receiving core? I don't know about that one. Because if you're dropping balls, it doesn't matter how well the ball is placed. If you're not catching them, you're not catching them. Don't even get me started, Steve-O. Don't even get me started, because here it is. Because if Patrick Mahomes was throwing to Rodney Adams, Damiere Byrd, Isaiah Coulter, Marquise Goodwin, Jakeem Grant, Darnell Mooney, Daz Newsome, Allen Robinson, Simba Webster, and Jesper Horsted, he wouldn't have the same numbers. Or Byron Pringle, EQ St. Brown, Bayless Jones, N'Keal Harry, Chase Claypool, Dante Pettis, and Amir Smith-Marset. He wouldn't have the same numbers. Steve said he could pass to himself for 20 touchdowns. Steve-O! So I'm okay with what Deion Sanders has said. I'm okay with Deion Sanders protecting his son. I'm okay with it. Deion Sanders is a winner. Period. End of story. He wants his son to be a winner too. Is that so wrong? Is that so wrong to want your son to be a winner as well? And a lot of people are saying they don't like Shedeur arrogance. Have you ever met a rich white kid before? Because I have. I went to school with a whole bunch of them. Do you guys remember a guy named Johnny Manziel? He was a football player. He was a Heisman Trophy winner. He was a stud. And he was arrogant as hell. So save the I don't like the fact that he's arrogant. Save it. It happens in different cultures all the time. When your dad is CEO and your dad makes tens of millions of dollars a year, and you go through high school because everyone knows who your dad is, you get a lot of perks. You become a little arrogant because the rules are a little different for you. The rules are a little different. I'm speaking from experience, from seeing it, from going to school. Whose dad, one of my teammates, he went to high school with Ken Griffey Jr. at Moeller in Cincinnati. His dad, my teammate, his dad was a vice president of Mattel, the toy company. Another one of my guys, his dad was the ambassador, U.S. ambassador to Kuwait. Another one of my friends, dad was the orthopedic surgeon for the New York Yankees. You know that small little baseball team they got in New York, the Yankees? Yeah, them. So I've seen people. And not all those people were arrogant, no. But some were. And if your dad was prime time, you'd probably have a little arrogance too. Yes, Ivy League snob, Steve-O, yes. Yes. John and Margarita Manziel. You mean because of the drink or the girls? Or both? That what Margarita stands for? Is pension for women or is pension for drinking or both? King Book of World. So don't hate on the kid because he's arrogant, because he's entitled, because he was born on second base. Don't hate on him. It happens all the time in society. It does. You mean to tell me Peyton Manning growing up in New Orleans wasn't? Dude, have you seen? See, because when Peyton came out, the internet wasn't out. Look, Google Peyton Manning. Tennessee scandal. Google it. Google it. He was accused of sexual assault. Many of you didn't know that, did you? You didn't know that about Peyton Manning. Google it. Peyton Manning was a jagbag in college. He used to talk to the trainers, talk down to them. He's accused of sexual assault. Where was that? That wasn't all plastered all over the world, all over the news, was it? No, that was kept hush-hush. Why? Because the powers that be didn't want it out. So don't give me the shit about Shador being arrogant and full of himself. Don't do it. Because your Peyton Manning was just as bad, was a hell of a lot worse in college. He showed his junk to the trainers. I believe he exposed himself to the trainers. Let me double check before I confirm that. So don't give me this about okay, no, he didn't hear allegation by a former University of Tennessee trainer who accused NFL star Peyton Manning of pressing his buttocks and genitals against her face while she examined his ankles was cataloged in '96 by a sexual assault crisis worker. Instead, according to the document, the person did not want name Manning and did not want to discuss details of her assault because she feared for her job at Tennessee. Yeah. So let's not get it twisted now. So I hope Shador, I wish him well. I would love for him to do well. Yeah, he might be a little arrogant. He might. You're stupid, Buck. You're stupid. King Book of World, Peyton, put your head here for 5 minutes, Manning. You're a damn fool, boy. Oh, man. But I'm tired of parents acting up. What about LeVar Ball? Yes, I thought he was annoying, but you know what? Look at all of his sons. Look at all of his sons. Yeah, Junior, he says my thing is both Sanders are 0-4 in championships. So is Dan Marino. Now what? So is Charles Barkley. So 0-4, yes. It's very difficult to win a championship at any level. And Shedeur still didn't have a good offensive line last year. It was improved from his first year at Colorado, but it still wasn't a good offensive line. So, but I digress. You know what? I just hope that the Bears, let's get back to the Bears. I hope the Bears, I'm anxious to see how the board falls. I really am. That's going to be the most important thing. And the thing we don't know is how the Bears have their board stacked. You know, are they going to trade up? There have been a lot more. And again, all these things are speculative. But I say, oh, a scout says this, or I have an inside source that says that. Trust me, you don't have an inside source that says shit. They talk about the Bears are going to jump up and trade for Abdul Carter. All it is for clicks. Because you don't know that. Because I can almost guarantee you. When I see Mark Sadowski, I'll talk to him. But it goes without saying that no one in that room who makes decisions says anything to any podcast, reporter, nothing about what that particular team has in store for the draft. It goes without saying, but I guarantee it's reiterated every year by every team. So when you say you got a source, it's very difficult for me to believe that you have the one person that's going to go against, that's going to risk his NFL job telling you what the Bears or what his team is going to do. Call me crazy. I've been called worse. Man, listen, 2 hours is come and gone. I want to thank my guest, Emilio Bucks, for coming out talking baseball with us and talking basketball with us. Great conversation. If you missed it, make sure you tune in later today. I'll replay this show tonight at 6 p.m. Central Time. Marino did not win a national championship in college. That was Tony Dorsett and the Pittsburgh Panthers back then. Dan Marino was not his quarterback then. So listen, guys, you have a phenomenal day. Enjoy it. I know it's a little cool. It's only 40 degrees right now out there in the Chi. But enjoy it. You woke up today, so you're on the wake-up list. Be grateful for that. And do yourself a favor. Let your loved ones know you love them, because tomorrow is promised to no one. All right, reach out to some people. Let them know that you set a date. This weekend is going to be nice. All right, it can be 50s and 60s and 70s. It's 70 on Monday. So make sure you reach out and do something with some of your peoples, okay? So for everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, guys, I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Again, let your loved ones know you love them, because tomorrow is promised to no one. It's going to be replayed tonight at 6 p.m. Central. For everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Have a phenomenal day. I love and appreciate you, my sports owners. Your boy is out.